saying the next experience might be a Halo CE remake as well as a Halo 7, a Halo Infinite sequel in development, and how the Switch 2 and PS5 might not be getting every Halo game from the Master Chief Collection. So in this video, I'm gonna pick up all these little pieces, put them all together in this video so you guys can stay up to date with everything going on with Halo. And now some of this information seems pretty legit, but also could be rather questionable. So if you want to know more, stay tuned throughout the whole video to understand all the details. Well, if you've been out of the loop for the last few days, you might know that Sean W is back with us guys in the Halo community, talking about Halo content, making videos about it. And I gotta tell you guys, some of it's rather interesting. He's been making some waves recently, especially with this one specific tweet, which I think kind of lends itself to what we might be seeing with the future of Halo, that being a Halo CE remake and a Halo 7. If you guys remember, Sean W was the guy who originally broke the news about Halo switching to the Unreal Engine 5. Now the Halo CE remake isn't anything new or crazy that we haven't heard of before, as we have seen it reported previously back in June of 2024 from The Verge here. This was on a paid document, so I couldn't really look at the document directly, so it was vicariously reported on. You get the idea, right? Okay, you got it. So it was saying that Microsoft is reportedly working on a Halo Combat Evolved remaster and considering a PlayStation 5 release. Given everything that we've seen from the new Dawn trailer, you would get major Combat Evolved vibes from this, right? Now, I wouldn't say this exactly confirms that there is going to be a CE remake coming, just because a lot of the assets that were utilized are actually straight from Halo Infinite, because this Master Chief that we see right here in the trailer and these elites are ripped straight out of Halo Infinite. This is like the $20 bundle version of the CE Master Chief that we were able to pick up, which I did kind of get funneled into that a little bit. And back when this was reported in June, it was mere months before it was presented to us at the HCS event in Seattle, just a few months later. So it would be making sense that if someone with the untrained eye would see something like this, because what they saw is this tech demo right here, showcasing a lot of Combat Evolved vibes with the whole thing, right? That you might thinking a remake of Combat Evolved is coming in, especially with that sweet looking classic Magnum. But Sean has rather credible sources. I've talked with him previously. He seems very confident about this CE remake, and credible outlets like The Verge reporting on this as well. Kind of just shows to point you all in this direction that there is going to be likely some kind of remake coming for us guys, likely a CE remake, which I'm kind of like iffy on the whole thing, really just because we've already had a remaster of it, which I wasn't really a big fan of, but it wasn't the worst thing ever, right? It wasn't like they completely butchered the visuals, just wasn't really my thing. But the other thing obviously is Halo 7. And Rebs Gaming talked about this in his recent Halo news video, how a direct sequel was planned after the release of Halo Infinite's campaign, but obviously with the layouts and the engine difficulties, that got sidetracked, and once they switched over to the Unreal Engine, that was completely changed. But here's the thing though, because we know that Halo is currently working on multiple projects right now at the moment, utilizing Unreal Engine 5. So it would make sense for the next Halo game to be a fully fledged multiplayer campaign, forge, everything you'd want to have in a Halo game in at Halo 7, and using the Combat Evolved remaster to get people's interest back into the franchise. Now I did actually get in contact with Rebs Game because there's multiple ways to take the interpretation of a sequel to Halo Infinite. Is it going to be a direct sequel of like Halo Infinite 2, right, and picking up directly where we left off, or just continuing on the story that was started and left behind with Halo Infinite? Because technically Halo Infinite is a sequel to Halo 5 because it still maintains that same story arc and picks up a few years after the events of Halo 5, obviously trying to redo everything that all was a mess of what happened within Halo 5 with Halo Infinite's story. And for what they presented, it was a pretty good campaign. But when you say sequel, do you mean like a direct pick up where you left off, or just continuing on the same story? And when I would talk with Rebs, he says he thinks it's going to be picking up exactly where Infinite left off, which could be continuing on with like the plot lines with like the Endless, continuing on with the Banished, what's going on with Atriox. We knew that was planned to have an entire campaign around Atriox and Halo Infinite, which would kind of make sense just because all the beats that they wanted to hit with Infinite sounded amazing. Infinite was supposed to be the Halo game of all Halo games, and it seems like the best laid plans sounded amazing. But the problem was that the upper management got in the way of things and the engine was very difficult and slow to work in. So what are the big changes coming around with the next Halo project? Well, brand new engine, which is easier to work in, supposedly, and also a lot of the upper management that were there for Halo Infinite are now all gone. And I would like to see Halo Studios pick up where Infinite left off, because I think there was a lot of great content there to talk about when it comes to the next Halo campaign, especially since Halo Infinite was supposed to be this fresh start for the franchise to bring people back, and now we're going to do another fresh start from the previous fresh start. It just would be very convoluted and really confusing, and it would just show that Microsoft lacks vision in the future and capability to handle the Halo franchise. So coming up with a direct sequel to Halo Infinite would make sense. My only concern with it being a sequel to Halo Infinite, right, because we all agreed that Halo Infinite's gameplay was really good. And the thing is though, I would feel like Halo Studios would have to make some drastic changes to the gameplay of Halo Infinite to justify its existence, because if you just release what Halo Infinite's multiplayer was, but in a new engine to try to charge people $70 to play the new Halo game, I'm sure the casual audience who doesn't understand the technical difficulties 343, now Halo Studios, went through would just probably see like, why are you charging me for the same exact game? It's kind of the issue that I feel like that it's been lingering with the Halo franchise for the longest time. Because I feel, I'm sure many of you will agree with me, that Halo's gameplay really did peak with Halo 3. But when they needed to make a new Halo game, you couldn't just release Halo gameplay from Halo 3 again, because people would just be like, you're just giving me Halo 3.5. I want a new game. Leading to all the wild changes Bungie made with Halo Reach, felt like they really kind of justify its existence, right? So they had to change a lot of different aspects of how the gameplay was, adding loadouts, how guns shot in the game, and just like everything fundamentally changed with Reach, just so it could separate itself from Halo 3, so then people wouldn't be upset about releasing the same product over again. So I really don't envy Halo Studios' situation right now, where Halo Infinite was supposed to be the Halo game to end all Halo games, and well, that just ended up not being the case. Now I really do feel like we'll get some concrete information about what's happening with the Halo franchise with Xbox Showcase in 2025, because if they're willing to showcase and give the information that like they are working on multiple Halo projects in Unreal Engine and showcase some actual in-engine footage at an HCS event, you would think that you would have to let the people know what's going on with Halo at the next Xbox Showcase this June. But it seems like Microsoft might be doing something really interesting with the Halo franchise, and potentially going over to PlayStation. It's been a long rumored thing, but from this recent news article saying from the same source who brought the Halo CE remake, Tom Warren from The Verge, again went on to the Xbox 2 podcast to talk about the future of the Halo franchise moving over to these different platforms, and talked about a really interesting strategy which I think actually could work out really well for Microsoft, mentioning how maybe not every game from the Master Chief Collection will make it to these other platforms, which you think, why would they separate this game out since it's so old? Just give players the opportunity to experience Halo, and then you'd be able to just play and get involved with the franchise. More people playing it, the better, right? Well, I think what they might be doing with this strategy is to tease players on other platforms about Halo, like say, just give them Halo 3, and then give them a chance like, hey, if you want to play Halo 2, Halo 4, Halo Reach, and all these other fantastic games, come over to the Xbox platform, buy into Game Pass, and it'll get you to experience the entire thing, which I think that might just be the way to get people to, one, move over to the Xbox platform, but also give people the ability to experience Halo on, say, like a Switch 2 or a PlayStation 5, especially with Microsoft's recent push of this is an Xbox, saying you can experience Xbox quality games on your platform of choice, right? Giving people the question like, why even buy an Xbox in the first place? Well, if you have an Xbox, especially with Game Pass, well, then you'll be able to experience the entire catalog of games, where it does seem like it would be kind of contradictory from what we've seen previously, right? In the podcast with Phil Spencer over a year ago, talking about their announcement of multi-platform games, right? And said there were no red lines, but I think you could probably put a red line on some specific games within a franchise, where a franchise itself might not have any red lines, but specific games might. Tom Warren also brought up this thing about maybe not every game coming over to those platforms with the Gears of War collection that's been rumored to come out here for Gears 1 through 3, maybe sometime in the future this year, possibly especially with the Xbox Showcase probably getting the true announcement. But if you can get a Gears collection and a Master Chief collection going multi-platform on the Switch and PS5, I think that would be a great thing to see for a lot of fans of these franchises, right? Getting these older franchises some attention to get a larger audience to play them. But of course, only time will tell. If you guys made it this far in this video, I hope I earned your like, maybe even a subscribe. If I want to know who the real ones are to make it to the end of the video, leave a green heart so I know which one you guys made it to the end of this video. If you missed any content from me recently, check out these videos right over here. And I appreciate you all watching. Thank you all much for coming by. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.